Hey, Thomas here with Trackify, and I'm going to explain here real quick how the Trackify automated solution for the limits of iOS 14 events works. So we're here in Trackify X in the settings tab, and you can see here is a new setting, events to fire for iOS 14. Now these events are pre-populated for all accounts with the standard 6 events that you have left. If you're running microdata and button click events, that is the report microdata, and more on that later. So let's first focus on the actual events. So we have page view that is always firing, view content fires on the product page. Let's see what's next. Add to cart is the next one that fires when you add stuff to the cart. Initiate checkout fires on the button clicks before the checkout page, and then purchase fires on the thank you page. Add payment info fires in some cases, in some accounts, when the user clicks on the last button on the checkout pages. Probably I would generally recommend, maybe you can change that, because the add payment info event most likely doesn't fire for you. You may actually change that internally, but see, you can actually edit this. So if you want to prioritize different event types, you can just deselect one of the default selection and then pick another one. For example, customized product, well, that would be an awesome one. I always get a lot of mileage out of that one for audience building and so forth. This customized product event fires whenever the user changes the variant on the product page, right? That's really cool because it shows more engagement than just looking at the product with the view content event, but obviously less engagement than adding it to the cart. But that would be a better event to put into the standard pre-selection here than the add payment. So we're actually going to make a change internally for that. Now let's talk about the microdata and button click, because as you can see here, so these are now 8 events, and this is counting microdata and button click. Microdata and button click are events that are sent automatically, or Facebook captures that automatically when unless you suppress them. Now in Trackify, you can suppress them simply by ticking off the setting here under report microdata, and you can see then they automatically get removed from the event list. And now you really have only 6 events here, and that means you could now select 2 more events from this list. So maybe you'd want to select the search event, or maybe you want to actually use the time on site and time on page events, which would now work in addition to the other standard events, right? So I think this would actually be a pretty cool configuration to test, because the microdata and button click events, this is kind of like more like Facebook snooping than you actually getting good mileage out of these events for your audience building and so forth. So if you're on the marketer plan and up in Trackify, you could now enable the time on site events like this. And since the Trackify X retarget event is selected here, it would also fire for iOS 14. So this would be my preferred setup that I would suggest trying. Report data disabled, and add the Trackify X retarget event and maybe the search event, so that you get your event selection up to 8 events. Now, one word on where this actually works. So all of this, the limitation to these 8 events happens only for iOS 14 browsers, for iOS 14 devices, right? And so all of the other devices, anything Google, Chrome, anything, well, it's device specific, not browser specific. So any Android devices, any browsers that run on computers, laptops, whatever else, anything that doesn't run iOS 14 fires all events, not just the 8 that are selected here, right? So we have this limitation here specifically going only for iOS 14 devices. Everything else works normal and fires all events. So this is it for now. We'll be reporting on the results of this and how this affects our tracking. And if you have any feedback or if you have any questions, do reach out to us through the in-app chat. And I hope this is going to be an awesome improvement for you. And I'm really excited to hear what you have to say and what your results are once you spin this up and configure it like this.